Welcome everyone to the AGM for Sea Change. My name is Polly McHugh. I'm the current chair of the board of Sea Change, and I'll ask the other people on the board at the table to introduce themselves.
I just attend the board. I'm not a board member. I'm Sam Smith, the director of Sea Change.
And I'm Malcolm Culling, and I'm a board member.
Matthew Quinn, board member.
I just attend the board meeting as well. I'm Lynn Watson, deputy director.
Andy Greensmith, board member.
Jane White, board member.
Thank you. This should be a relatively short meeting. Am I hearing this?
Yeah.
Relatively short meeting. We will try and keep it brief, and I've also got a phobia of microphones and cameras, so my apologies here. The first item on the agenda, or the second item, would be approval and amendment of previous minutes of the previous AGM. And could we have someone to approve the minutes?
I'll move them.
Malcolm Cummings and Andrew Greensmith to second that. Thank you. There were no matters arising from the minutes of the previous AGM. So we'll move on to the Chair's report and the Trustees' report, which we are just going to table. It's a very lengthy and detailed document, but that will be available if anyone would like to read that. Number 5 on the agenda would be the Auditor's report from Hardy Caldwell. The report was presented to the board at the last meeting 2 weeks ago, where the board approved it, and it was just confirmation of that approval at the board meeting. And we take this opportunity to thank Hardy Caldwell for the work they've done for Sea Change over the past year, and also producing the report earlier, because the AGM this year has been brought forward. The next item would be the change of the company name for Sea Change, and I'm sure there's been discussions within the organisation that the organisation be known as Sea Change rather than Sea Change for Inclusion. Again, this was discussed at the board meeting 2 weeks ago, again to confirm approval of the change of the name. And from now on, Sea Change would just be known as Sea Change. Number 6 on the agenda would be the appointment of new board members and office bearers. We'd like to co-opt Margaret Wheatley and John Taylor onto the board. Agreement?
Absolutely.
Yep. Thank you. And at this point, the current office bearers step down with new office bearers appointed. The chair of the board would nominate Malcolm Cummings as the chair of the board. Anyone would second that? I'll second that. Thank you, Malcolm. Cummings now taken over. A surprise to him. This was just agreed 10 minutes ago. So a surprise to Malcolm, but Malcolm's been involved in the organisation since more or less the start of the organisation, and a very loyal and committed member of the board. Thank you, Malcolm.
Thank you.
We have to elect a vice chair.
Oh, can I suggest maybe Pauline McHugh might be I'm more than adequate vice chair.
Thank you. Well, unless nobody's going to agree with that. Thank you.
James, second that.
We don't have any other office bearers, do we?
No.
Move on to the annual report. This year's annual report has been done in a different format than it normally is, and I'll hand you over to Sam to talk to you about that.
The annual report will be handed out if it's approved formally by board at this AGM, and it just provides a summary of the activities of the organisation over the last year. So it provides details, a short summary in terms of a director's report, information about the mission and vision of the organisation, some really important information about how we've worked to include the people we work for in the running of the organisation through the inclusive board, which is the work that resulted in Matt and Andy joining our board, the work of the Improvement Council, and there are a number of members of the Improvement Council in the room today, and also the Quality Assurance team, the Quality Checkers. There's a page in the report that also details how we were inspected and evaluated. So it gives the results of our inspection from the Care Commission, but also we asked for an external evaluation by the 5 Dimensions team, and so it gives details of the feedback from the 5 Dimensions team about the work of the organisation. There are, the work of the organisation really is most clearly illustrated through the stories of the people we work for, and so in this, on the centrefold, we have the stories of Holly and Andy Greensmith and how things have changed for them. We also have an update in the report on Dates and Mates, the first Scottish National Dating and Friendship Agency for people with learning difficulties, which is a project of Sea Change. And then there's a section about looking ahead, which is all about the other projects and initiatives that Sea Change is looking to support. Finally, or almost finally, there's a small section on money matters, because in the current economic climate it does more than ever. So it gives a bit of a summary of what the organisation is spending the money on, other than the direct support that people need. And then there's, on the last page, you'll see Tony highlighting the future events, which details all the celebration events for this 10 years celebration of Sea Change's existence. So if the board would be happy to sign off the annual report, then we'll ensure that it's being distributed as we speak. Okay. Let's hope you're signing it off.
Yes, we have.
If it happens if we don't, Sam?
You're going to have to get them all back. Oh. Okay, so that's it for the annual report. So we move on to any other
Before we go on to any other business, I think as a board we would like to thank Sam and the other employees of Sea Change, and I think that's right down the line to people, support workers, team leaders. I think it's been a very difficult year for Sea Change and other organisations within social care, and I think it's commendable the work they've managed to carry on working and things have developed over the past year. And also the people that we work for, because there's been a lot of work and feedback through the Improvement Council in different ways within the organisation to help Sam and the staff see how we weather the storm, how we take things over. So I think from the board, a big thank you for everyone, the people we work for and the employees of Sea Change. Thank you. And finally, I told you it would be a quick AGM. Finally, it's any other business, and what Hardy Caldwell have been the auditors for Sea Change for the past
many years.
I would recommend the reappointment of Hardy Caldwell for as our auditors. They work very well with the organisation. They are very good at simplifying the information to help maybe the non-accountant types like myself on the board understand them. They're very responsive to any changes. They produced accounts 3 months earlier this year at our request. I would suggest reappointments, seconded by Jane. I've not known you that long. Over 10 years. Also, I'd like to thank Sea Change's Finance Department. Equally, they have to produce a lot of work, not only the ongoing work for local authorities that fund the organisation, but to provide the information to allow Hardy Caldwell to complete the audit. And so again, to the finance team, a very big thank you for the board for doing that work. Thank you. And the final matter would be, unless anyone's got any other business, sorry, I should open that.
Lunch.
I'm always open to lunch, Matt.
I'm not buying, I'm just saying.
Right. And the date of the next annual general meeting would be July 2012. No, this is 2011. Don't confuse me, Linda. It'll be in a year's time, 2012, and we'll confirm the exact date of that when the minutes go out. Can I thank everyone for attending, and hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and hope to see people tonight, for everyone that can make it at the celebratory ball. Thank you.
And a vote of thanks to you too.